Hey, welcome back at Stony. I'm in Pennsylvania today. I'm back home visiting some friends and family, and I got something special for you. I am back at the creek I grew up in. This is back when I was in 3rd, 4th, 5th, maybe 6th grade, and my brother and I would play here all the time, making dams with fish. But I want to see if there's some gold in this thing, so we're gonna dip a few pans in there. Might find some Pennsylvania gold, might not, but anyway, the memories of this place, that's the real gold today. And it's almost kind of emotional, like I feel like I'm going back in time, 30 plus years. So let's get some pans wet. I am so excited about this. This is like a dream come true. I've thought about this moment ever since I got into prospecting. I've always wanted to come back here and try and find some gold. The forests are totally different from what I'm used to back in Washington State. You can actually see pretty far in the forest. This is typical Appalachia. I'm near Allentown, Pennsylvania. This is very typical of that area. And the water's not cold either. There's no glacial runoff. It's just, there's some quartz in here, a lot of like redstone, maybe iron stuff, but let's see how we do. If there is gold, it's probably super fine like I'm used to out in Washington State. And the laws out here for prospecting are really lax because we don't have the salmon issue like we do back in Washington. So you can do kind of pretty much everything. I do see some black sands. It's pretty exciting. Black sands, where you find some gold, or potential to find gold, because the heaviest, that means there's heavy material in here, not just lights. Like there's like half black sands, half lights over here. I have some stories I'm going to tell you too throughout this video, give you a sense of my childhood and, just stuff like that. Look at all that black sand. It is all black sand. Look at that. Tons of it. If I find gold, I'm going to be jumping out of my seat. How cool would that be? Things you just don't know when you're a kid. Crazy how much black sands are in there. That's amazing. Black sand doesn't mean you're going to find gold, but it's a pretty good indicator that there are heavies in the creek. And I've never really heard of gold being found anywhere around here, even doing some research in my later years. Never heard of gold being around here. But everyone went to the West Coast to try and find gold. There's a major interstate that runs north and south right here. That's why you're hearing, or east and west. So if you can hear the trucks, I apologize for that. Man, the black sands are just crazy. No gold. Now this creek is only probably a mile long that way, so it's not cutting through a lot of terrain. But let's see if we can find some gold somewhere else. Still nothing yet, but look at all the black sands. It is just, I have never had to deal with this much black sand before. This place is loaded with it. It's making it really difficult, you know, to pan fast because I have to deal with all this black sand. This is my third pan now, and nothing, no yellow. Nothing yellow yet, but we're still checking it. No gold. This creek has tons of crayfish or crawdads. I'm not sure which one it is up here. I think it's, we used to always call them just crayfish, but I got a good story about that. Okay, so when I was a kid, you know those Danish dishes that you get those sugar cookies in that have like the clear sugar crystals on top, the round ones, probably 12 inches or 10 inches wide, 4 inches deep. So I brought one of those to the creek, and my brother and I loaded them up with crayfish. I'm talking probably 30, 40, 50 crayfish in this with rocks and stuff like that and water. We brought it back to my house. I put tin foil over it, maybe cellophane wrap or plastic wrap, something like that. And I put it, I think, in my bedroom. And my mom that night went to get something out of the fridge, and a crayfish walked across the floor in the kitchen. So the whole night, the crayfish came out of the dish and they went around the entire house, and my mom let out a blood-curdling scream that night. Woke us all up, and of course I got in trouble for bringing crayfish in the house. And I think it was months and months that went by, and we were still finding dead carcasses of crayfish throughout the entire house, like underneath the sofa, behind the sofa, in the basement of all places. So they really got around for a while, and then they died because obviously, you know, they were out of their element. But this place, just seeing that one crayfish brought back that one memory, and that was a really good memory. Not for my mom, but for me it was. But yeah, did pan number 4, nothing. A lot of black sands, but no gold. I want to show you a couple things around here before we maybe do a couple more pans and then pack it up for the day. So the tunnel behind me right here, this is about 20 feet from where I was just prospecting for some gold, which we didn't find any, of course. But this tunnel goes down there about 300 feet underneath I-78, and we were told as kids that we cannot come through this tunnel because that's where all the bad people were, down there. Now there's no bad people. It was just a way of scaring us not to go through the tunnel. But we did because we were kids, we wanted to explore, so we would take our bikes and go through the tunnel and then back up, and it was a lot of fun. Now this tunnel's about 5.5 feet high here, and if you get like a running start, you could slide down here about 50, 70 feet because of all the algae. So you get like your water socks or aqua shoes on, and you can have a really good time playing in the water. So, you know, we spent a lot of time up here, a lot of time. And we probably shouldn't have because, you know, there's crazy people everywhere, but we did anyway. So the creek looks a lot different from when I was out here 32 years ago, 30 years ago. But my brother and I, we would build dams every 10 feet. So every 10 feet for probably a good 100, 150 feet, like I said, we spent a lot of time up here. We would build like 2-foot high dams, and we would catch fish and transplant them into this creek. A lot of dams. I'm talking a lot of dams. And they'd be, you know, 3 or 4 feet deep, and we'd go swimming in there. And then on the banks up here, we would build forts. Like, we had tons of forts. We would play capture the flag across. This would be like a boundary line. We'd play capture the flag between these two sides of the bank. Over here we had like a RC dirt track that we made for our cars, electric RC cars. And then way up there's a whole bunch of sinkholes with like shale, and it used to be an old dump. And back in the 20s and 30s and 40s, they would dump all their trash in these big holes. So we would find blue glass, blue willow, milk glass, just all kinds of different glasses and tires and car parts. So we bring them home to my dad because he likes to collect antiques, and it was a fun time. Now as an adult, I don't want to go walking up here because I understand that it does become private property, and when I was a kid, I didn't care about private property. It was the woods, no one could own the woods, right? Well, now I know that people can own the woods, so I don't want to go up there and get in trouble. I don't think I would get in trouble, but it's not smart. But there's a big sinkhole up there right next to the creek, and we actually diverted all the water for about 2 days from the creek, and we filled up that sinkhole full of water. You can't do that. You definitely cannot do that. Well, we did it, and I'm pretty sure the sinkhole is now empty because the creek is flowing into here. And then we, of course, made the water run through the creek again. We weren't that bad of kids, but yeah, we destroyed this place. We didn't destroy it. We took care of it. We didn't lay trash around or do anything weird around here. We just had fun being kids. And I imagined all these like sides, these banks right here. Well, I can't do it opposite. All these banks right here, they used to be like 25 feet tall. Well, they weren't. I was just a lot smaller. So I can almost just jump over these banks. So yeah, it's neat being here on this creek. So many memories. All right, let's dip some more pans. It's not looking good. Not looking good at all. It's like 70 degrees out here. It's so nice. Now this creek has no name. I tried finding a name for it. The only thing I think it's called is just called Spring. There's a spring lane up top of the mountain here where it first starts. And I think it's just called Spring. I never could find a name. No maps show it on here. It's just too small of a creek. I know in Washington it would have a name. I think they name every creek there. It's also weird not finding any gold because every creek I find over in Washington, I can find something. But this is a much older area. Appalachian mountains there's a lot more erosion. They're a lot smaller. Maybe back in the day. Definitely not now. I don't know. I never heard of a Pennsylvania gold rush. No gold again. Something's telling me there's no gold here. No gold. So this will be my probably 8th pan, but you can see the creek right there. It runs this way, a bunch of sand, right? Sand's usually not a good spot to find gold, but there's a whole bunch of black sand. You can actually see it right here. All black sands. So I know there's heavy stuff being deposited right in this little area here. So I'm gonna scoop all this up and try and see if there's any gold in that stuff. It's on top of a rock right there. Oh, it's just all sand. Jeez. It's gonna be a lot of black sand in this. Might take me a while to pan this down. Okay, that's plenty. That is more than enough. Maybe a little more right here. Okay, that's good. This may be my final pan. I think there's no gold up here or in here. And the gold could be so fine, it's just attached to the black sands and I just can't see it. It could be that too. And this pan, isn't really good for super fine gold. That's all I brought with me. All right. That's it. I'm done. I came to do what I wanted to do. There's zero gold here, at least right here. I'm not going to try anywhere else. This is good enough for me. That's going to wrap up my adventure today. I really appreciate you coming by and hanging with me, seeing my childhood. spot where I used to hang out all the time. 8 summers, at least 8 summers, maybe 9 summers. Every single day for 3 months straight, right here on that creek, or this creek. And even though I found 0 gold today, which I expected to find no gold, the memories, the gold is right here in my head. It's right here in this spot. And if you ever have a chance to go back to your childhood fun spots that have water, creeks, streams, rivers, go back there with a pan and just see if you can find some gold. And like I said, if you don't find any gold, that's all right. The time that you're spending here, remembering your childhood, that's well worth it. And I haven't been this happy out in nature in a long time. And this is just a no-name creek, nothing special to anyone else but myself and my brother and some friends. But yeah, it's a really cool place and I love it here. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate you. Leave me a comment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. There's gonna be more videos in the future. I plan on doing a lot this year. It's gonna be a good time. So again, thank you so much. Heavy pants, take it easy. And until the next one, I'll catch you later.